Hey friends, Dave here at Transfer Express, and today we're talking about the top 8 things to look for when choosing the right direct-to-film transfers for your apparel printing business or clothing brand. Direct-to-film transfers, or DTF for short, has taken the apparel printing industry by storm in the past couple years, and that's due to its ability to produce vibrant, full-color prints on a variety of apparel fabrics and styles, all while affording decorators profit margins that are typical of more traditional methods of printing, like bulk screen printing, just without all that time spent on equipment setup, teardown, and cleanup. All you need is just a heat press to produce great, stunning t-shirts. Now, gone are the days of being limited to cotton with, say, those super expensive and hard to maintain direct-to-garment printers, or limited to printing only on light polyester garments like with Sublimation. Now, there's tons of direct-to-film heat transfers out on the market today. They are not all created equal. So today we're going to break down what to look for in a DTF transfer and why. Are you ready? Let's learn. If you are new to Transfer Express, we are the world's largest supplier of custom screen printed and digital heat transfers, heat presses, free customizable designs, wholesale apparel, and expert advice to help grow your t-shirt business. If you haven't already, subscribe. We're kicking out new videos like this one every single week. To kick off our list here, we're going to start with the absolute biggest difference in direct-to-film prints, and that is the peel. The best DTF transfers out there right now are a hot peel transfer, and that is for several reasons. Number one, it's quick and efficient. No need to wait for transfers to cool down, and time is money in any business, and apparel printing is no different. It doesn't matter if you're saving a penny here or there by purchasing a low-cost DTF transfer when you're having to wait several minutes before you remove the carrier. Which leads us to our second point here about our peels, is that almost all cold peel DTF transfers require a second press to reduce that kind of cheap, glossy shine of that cold peel carrier, and also to seal the print to the garment. Introducing a second press, which again is going to seriously extend your production time on each garment. See, to allow a cold peel transfer to cool properly, you're going to need to remove it from the heat press, which then, if you need to press it again for that second hit, you're gonna have to load it back onto the press, truly doubling the work needed to print just one shirt. Time is money. You should be maximizing your time, which is gonna maximize your profits. Now, with a hot peel direct-to-film transfer, it's fully sealed and adhered to the garment with just one press, and that's typically in a 12 to 15 second press time. You pull the garment and move right on to the next. No second step, no cover sheets needed, just simple, straightforward, single-step application. Now, our next thing to look for with direct-to-film is a low application temperature. Many direct-to-film transfers are advertised as being able to print on cotton, polyester, blended garments, maybe even lycra or spandex, which of course is one of the absolute best attributes to DTF transfers. However, with high heat application temperatures up to maybe even the mid 300s, you're dealing with temperatures that are likely to scorch those sensitive synthetic fibers. So while it's going to adhere to all of those fabrics, you are really limited to cotton-dominant garments when you're printing at those higher temps. So that's why for frustration-free printing, you need to look for a direct-to-film heat transfer that applies below 300 degrees, kind of that benchmark of a safe temperature for those man-made synthetics and blended materials that are very in demand with customers these days. Now, next up, print quality. While this may be more subjective than the other points we're talking about here today, there's one thing that is a hard no-go, and that is banding in the prints. Now, this is caused for a few different reasons. Number one, the print heads are clogged or just aren't maintained well, leaving what looks like an inkjet printer running out of ink on your image. something you don't want to be printing on shirts. Now, this is also common in cheap DTF printers that aren't used in climate-controlled environments. Having the correct humidity and temperature is going to keep those prints looking great, and not all suppliers of DTF have those systems for their climate in place. Now, it's also wise to look for bright, crisp, opaque whites and vibrant colors. Now, those cheap DTF prints might be light on the wallet, but they're using cheap inks and pigments which just don't look as vibrant as they should, which we're going to talk about another downside of that more here in just a little bit. But next up, and just as important, no clear outlines on the transfer. If someone is selling you a direct-to-film print that has a clear adhesive border on the print, just say no. Of course, there are hybrid transfers out there on the market that combine digital printing with a screen-printed adhesive. They are pretty nifty and a completely different print process that allows for the best of both digital printing and screen printing for your heat transfers. Now, those come along with a steep bulk quantity pricing, which is fantastic for super high volumes. But DTF prints should never have a clear outline. Now, this is likely due to either someone being dishonest with the actual transfer type that they're selling you, or they don't have a climate-controlled environment to print the transfers in, which leads to those issues that we covered earlier, and in some cases, extra adhesive sticking to the edges of the print where it really shouldn't be, leading to a clear outline around your prints. Now, the best DTF transfers out there should have those beautiful, crisp, sharp edges that look absolutely stellar on fabric when printed. Now, I do want to mention here that if you're pressing DTF with too much pressure, you may see some adhesive spill out around the edges kind of inconsistently. So try backing the pressure off a little bit to see if that helps get those perfect prints that you're looking for. Next up, let's talk about minimum quantities. With direct-to-film, it's a digital process from end to end, with no need to burn screens with emulsion and mix inks like screen printing is. So there should be zero setups or minimum quantities. The true beauty of this process is allowing for any color design at any quantity. Perfect for on-demand printing, personalization, prototyping, or even something like photo shoots for your product photos online. Order what you need only when you need it, helping you keep costs low and more profit in your pocket. Now, if someone is selling you minimum quantities on DTF prints, it might be best to go look elsewhere. Which then leads us to the next point: be wary of set sizes of DTF transfers. When you're paying for, say, a 4x4, 8x8, 11x4 transfer or something else, very rarely is your design filling all of that space. So you really end up paying for blank carrier, or essentially just paying too much for your prints. DTF is typically printed on a 22 or 24-inch roll, allowing for efficient printing. It's best to look for a DTF supplier who's pricing prints by the square inch, allowing you to limit print costs to the exact area of the ink you're using, regardless of your design size. Now, this is truly helping you maximize your profit. Sure, if you order multiple images, your prints are probably going to come together on one sheet, but the company is eating the cost of the space in between your images, not you. Hashtag print hack, right? Next up, let's talk about how it feels when printed on a garment. DTF should be smooth and pliable, not thick and rigid. Now, DTF is still ink being applied to the fibers of a garment. And when used, just say like a screen printing or direct to garment, where you have areas of the design showing through to the fabric, DTF prints are breathable and really, honestly, quite comfortable to wear. Similar in nature to those traditional plastisol screen prints. Now, remember those low quality inks and pigments that we mentioned earlier? Well, those are a prime culprit for thick and heavy prints. Because those pigments in those cheap inks aren't as saturated as the quality inks, more ink needs to go down on the carrier to maintain the correct colors to match those colors to your artwork file, leading to a less than comfortable print to wear and those heavy, crunchy prints. To finish up our list here, we have to mention turn times. You should look for a supplier for your DTF prints that has quick production times. With the nature of the digital process we talked about earlier when we were mentioning minimum quantities, your prints should be turned quick, like next day quick. 48 hours or 72 hours for digital prints is actually kind of a long time. So aim for someone with next business day turn times. Bonus points if the production cutoff time is late in the day too. Just something you want to look out for, otherwise it counts like your order is placed the next day. Okay, I know that was 8 things to look for in DTF, but I have to mention just one more thing, and that is free samples. To test out the quality with some generic designs, a DTF supplier should have no problem sending you samples at no cost to you. You should not even have to pay for shipping. Of course, with the nature of DTF, it's incredibly easy to order samples of your own artwork. It should be very inexpensive. I'm talking like under $10 to order just about any size t-shirt print of your designs. It might even cost way less. So if somebody is charging you $9, $10 for generic samples, you just need to save your money. Look for another supplier or just pay to print your own art in just one quantity. So let's recap real quick and get you on the right track for quality custom DTF prints for your apparel printing business. Now, Ultra Color Max direct-to-film transfers from STAHLS and Transfer Express are going to check every single one of the boxes that we covered here today. Quick, efficient, hot peel single-step application, no need to cover and repress. Now, Ultra Color Max applies at the low temperature of 290 degrees, safe for printing on polyester garments, spandex, or tri-blends without those dreaded scorch marks. All with stellar print quality, opaque prints, and ultra vibrant colors. Of course, no clear outlines at all here, and no minimum quantities. Order one or many, whatever you need. You could also order any size for your project from 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch all the way up to 22 by 22 inches in an image area, all priced by the square inch. So you only pay for the size of your design. All that with the industry's best hand feel. You really have to try it to believe it. But going to trade shows, I've seen people be super impressed and say, I've never seen a direct-to-film transfer that feels this way. It's not heavy, it's not crunchy, you just have great quality DTF prints here. Oh, and samples are absolutely free too if you want to try them for yourself. Of course, for turn time, if you order by midnight Eastern time, your prints are shipping out the door the next business day. So it's kind of a win-win, win-win-win-win-win, right? But seriously, just don't take my word for it, okay? Request your free samples at the link that we'll put right here and down in the description below to try this for yourself. Now here at STAHLS, we've been dedicated to helping apparel decorators succeed with heat-applied decoration for over 90 years. So there's always real customer service here to help answer any of your questions should they arise. So, have you used DTF transfers before? Have you tried Ultra Color Max direct-to-film transfers? What do you think? How do they stack up to others? Did we miss something here in this video that other people should be looking for in a direct-to-film transfer? Let us know down in the comments section below. We always love to keep the conversation going with the apparel decorating community. And as always, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the Transfer Express YouTube page right here to stay up to date on all of the helpful t-shirt printing tips, tricks, inspiration, and education that we're dropping here every single week. But until next time, I'm Dave. Happy pressing. See you later, alligator.